About 20 years ago, there was a reporter who interviewed a man who claimed he was Martin Bormann's son. And he claimed that after the war, Martin Bormann had escaped to England or had been captured by the British, was interrogated, and for whatever reasons, maybe to do with the Nazi gold, who knows, he was given sanctuary in England.
Did he live at Wray Common Road?
Yes, and that Martin Bormann lived out his life with his wife in Wray Common Road in Reigate. The son took the reporter to his house and showed him data that proved his claim that Martin Bormann was his father. I don't know what that data was, but photographs and all sorts of things. The reporter went away and started to write a story, which was published. Subsequently, the son was arrested on a drugs charge. While the son was on remand in custody, he supposedly committed suicide by hanging himself. The reporter went back to the house, gained access to the house, possibly illegally, and the data that had been there was no longer there. He couldn't find it. Now, he took on Andrea, who was the reporter who lived upstairs, to continue investigating, because Martin Bormann's son actually supposedly had a sister who lived in New Malden. And they wanted me to go and knock on this sister's door in New Malden and ask her questions about whether she was Martin Bormann's daughter. I said, you must be bloody joking. You know, if the authorities have actually killed his son, I'm not going to go near it. There were a number of articles in the newspaper, I can't remember which newspaper, about this. But of course, nothing further came of it, and it was just one of those stories that disappeared into the mists of time. But if indeed Martin Bormann did live out his days in Reigate, there is some indication that it might have been because Marjorie Hall and the house at the bottom of the hill were used as some debriefing centre to debrief Martin Bormann. And he would have probably been, once they thought he was safe after the war, they would have let him go out and go for walks, and he walked round Reigate, and I can well imagine them say, well, do you know England? Is there anywhere you'd like to live in England? Because we will resettle you and give you a new name. And he said, well, I don't know England at all, but Reigate seems a nice little town. This will do. And so that was why there was the Martin Bormann Association.
Oh. Good gracious.
Because Martin Bormann, the official, was that Martin Bormann went to South America.